Hey everyone, welcome to episode 41 of Outspoken. Hope you're all having a great day. I feel like that was so condescending. I wish I could, I'm not listening to myself right now, but that just did not sound like I wanted you to have a good day. So, I truly, sincerely hope you're having a good day. And if you are not, well, I will change that for you right now by watching some dumb shit and talking about it. So today we have a couple of smaller clips that I wanted to play for you. The first one we can do is this guy being really upset over a pregnant man emoji, because that is something to be upset over. And then I want to take a look at this guy's merch as well. One of my favorite things to do when I react to people is look at their merch. Because they usually have very cringy, bad merch that just doesn't. I'll save it for the segment. And then after that, there was I think this was a TikTok. It was a short clip that went viral over a guy getting mad about girls wearing bathing suits at the beach. So there's a lot of things for people to be mad about here today that they shouldn't be mad about. Which brings me into my next thing. The thing that I'm mad about. I thought that would be a smooth transition into the Collins complaint of the day. This one's short. Don't have to worry about me talking for 10 minutes like last episode. The first thing that popped in my head was just the gym being crowded. That's probably, or actually, I mean, I guess we could say anywhere being crowded, because that shit sucks and it's overwhelming. And then lastly, we have our LGBTQ stories. And if any of you want to submit any of your coming out stories or how you got outed or situation that you're stuck in. My AC just turned on. Hold on a second. I gotta go shut that off. Like I was saying, I don't really know what I was saying. Oh yeah, any stories that you want to submit for them to be read here on Outspoken, you can send them to the email outspokensam@gmail.com. Oh my god, I just ripped my microphone off of its stand. All right. So this is just a small clip from this guy's podcast, I guess. His name is Isaac Butterfield, by the way. I want to give him credits for the laugh that he's about to give us.
Did you know that they're bringing out a new emoji that is a pregnant dad?
That's worth getting upset about.
But why?
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 Yeah, why? What's the function of that?
Okay, if you're a man...
Are you sure it's not just a big fat cunt? Like, is it...
Potentially.
Is he holding... Like, what's...
It's a body... No, it's body... No, so he's like that. He's holding like that and he's holding his tummy.
Yeah, but I do that after I've had a fucking good feed.
Big carbonara.
Yeah,
You've
fucking
carved up for the weekend.
Oh, big food coma. Ooh.
So the...
I mean, we could use the emoji as that too. Like, if you just went out and you just ate 300 grams of carbs. Is that emoji actually on there right now? I'm going to check. Pregnant man? Oh, wait. All right, wait, why don't I have the pregnant man emoji? Does anybody else have it?
Argument is, okay, there are men out there who are transgender, they were biological women and now they're men and they still got a vagina so they can have a baby, and therefore pregnant men exist. And hey, if you're a man, you claim to be, not claim to be a man, you identify as a man. That's great, wonderful, and you're pregnant and you reckon you're a pregnant man, fucking all the power to your sister, brother, whatever you want to be on that particular day.
The statement would have been better if he didn't end it with whatever you want to be on that day. Or what did he say? Whatever you want to be called on that day, whatever. Because it's such a stupid... Guys, I'm so sick of reacting to like the transphobic stuff. I'm so tired. Or they'll say that statement, but then they'll say it with but, right? Like we always say.
But you don't need your own fucking emoji. Shut up. You do not need your own fucking emoji. Do I get an emoji because I've got psoriasis and a fucking receding hairline?
This guy seems pretty fucking pissed that this emoji exists. Our boy is pissed off. Imagine being that angry over a emoji. It's so funny because every time that I show you guys something, it's one of these types of people who are upset about fucking Gonzo in a dress. Is that his name? The Muppet in a dress, or a pregnant man emoji. Like, they are so quick to call trans people sensitive, and we find everything offensive, right? But they find like an emoji out of hundreds of emojis to be upsetting because it's a pregnant man. It's an emoji, just like it's a show. They do have an emoji with a receding hairline. If you just search up Sam Collins in the emoji section, you'll fucking find it, dude. I don't know why you're complaining. No, they do have a bald man emoji though, or like balding, don't they? I'm pretty sure they have like different hairstyles. Anyways, whatever. I wanted to point that out. This guy's channel has a lot of really good stuff to react to. I might react to him in the future, but I just came across his channel. I think that my complaints are annoying, and then I see something like this, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm really not that bad about the things I complain about, because this guy is mad over an emoji. Anyway, so then they just go on to talk about the working conditions within Apple, and I know nothing about that, so I'm not going to do commentary on that. But just at the end of the day, man, why are you crying about the emoji? I wonder if he like cried in his bathroom when he found out about this emoji, and he was like, we got to make a podcast episode about this. We have to. This is madness. This is what they're doing today to society. They're putting pregnant man emojis. Why don't you just use that emoji yourself after you go out and eat a bunch of food? You can use it too. It includes you. You don't have to be upset, man. It's fine. So that was the little clip that I wanted to show you, and I took the pleasure of reading his description and checking out what was in it, and I saw the merch link. And I always have to go to the merch link because you can judge a person very heavily on what they sell by their merch. You can tell what they're all about. Like me, for example, mine looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. If you ever want to check it out, you can go to samcollinsshop.com. Anyways, mine is like a retro neon look. It just says Collins Comedy Club. So you look cooler than wearing something that says Sam Collins on it, you know? It makes you look like you have a sense of humor. You go out to the club and you watch comedy. So anyways, this guy's merch. The first hoodie that I see, it just says anti-vegan, and it looks like the Gucci, you know, Gucci with the green stripes and then the red stripe in the middle. And then it's just like his little icon in the middle. And it's $80. Wait, is this Canadian or American? I don't know. Either way, that's still a steep amount of money for a hoodie. Why the fuck would anybody wear an anti-vegan shirt? That's the weirdest thing. Why is that like, why is that his merch? Is his channel dedicated to hating vegans? I looked at it, the vegans aren't that prevalent. I mean, I guess I didn't do a very good job then, because clearly this guy really hates vegans. There's a mug that says vegan tears, because that's not weird. He has a shirt that says fuck you to the moon, which is that's not too bad. I think that's a pretty good one, if I'm being honest. We have an apron here that says fuck vegans, and it's a walking piece of steak that looks like a cowboy. Imagine, that's so odd. Like imagine your dad just wearing that apron that says fuck vegans. Okay, and what? Clearly fuck vegans, you're making a steak. I don't really get it. There's another shirt that says fuck cyclists. What? Like a bicyclist? Is there a deeper meaning for cyclist? Okay, so he doesn't like people who ride bikes. This has to be an inside joke. Okay, there's a crew neck and a beanie that's just say moist. I feel like that joke was outdone a very long time ago, my friend, in the Tumblr days. What are you doing? Imagine if I put out a merch link and then all you saw was the word moist on a t-shirt, and this is what you guys would have to represent me as a t-shirt that says moist. That sucks. I am so welcome for you are so welcome for me not doing that. Okay, so now I want to show you this little clip of these girls on the beach. They're recording this guy who comes up to them, and they're in their bathing suits.
Okay, so then why do you dress this way?
I'm hot and I like women, so please leave us alone.
Well,
kindly.
Well, take young.
I'm at the beach in my bathing suit.
Yep, that's a thong and that's a bra.
That is a fucking bathing suit.
Take young guys into consideration. They don't need to see pornography right in front of their
We're not coming
eyes.
up to you, bothering you. Please go away.
Pornography? Pornography for wearing a bikini. Okay. All right, this is, you know what? Every time you go to the beach, if you're a woman, you have to wear a blanket. Sorry. This guy clearly makes the rules.
You're flaunting your stuff.
I'm not flaunting anything. Don't look at me.
How you look around and you're the only thing that sticks out because your whole body.
Okay, well, why are you looking at me? Close your eyes.
I highly doubt that. Come on, man. This guy has never been to a beach.
What did you say? Gouge your eyes out if I fucking bother you.
Did I ask you to talk to me?
Here's the thing.
We asked you.
You didn't. But here's the thing. There's free will in America. There's freedom of speech.
You don't get the fuck away.
And if men of God don't stand up, then our society's gonna go. go down the drain because there's no
I'm
morality.
atheist, sorry.
Yeah, same.
I'm an atheist. Sorry. That argument can't work on me. That shit is so fucking funny. Why don't these people ever realize, and this is also a thing, there's certain people out there who realize that not everybody follows their set of morals and their set of beliefs and their religion and stuff like that. Even if you took religion out of it, like, people's morals and opinions are different from each other. So just because something that somebody else does that is morally wrong to you doesn't mean that it's actually morally wrong. That might just be how you think in your book. You know what I'm saying? So it's so weird when people like this try to come and like talk all of this shit, and they'll do it anywhere too. They'll do it in front of like abortion clinics and stuff, and LGBT parades and all that great stuff. They go there and they preach that no, this is not the way that it's supposed to be or whatever. But that's your set of rules, my friend. That's your set of rules. That's in your little head, in your little world. Okay? Sarah down the street might be completely different. She might believe in something completely different. Does that make it wrong? Does that make Sarah wrong? No, it doesn't make Sarah wrong. This is like, I always feel like I'm teaching a second grade class. It's such a very easy thing to comprehend. If a woman in a bikini is making you uncomfortable for whatever reason, I think you should check in with yourself. Because I don't, it's the beach. Like, it's the beach.
Okay, that's if you're an atheist, that doesn't mean you have to, show your body off. You can still put clothes on.
Oh, I can't with you.
Hey, here's the thing.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing.
So embarrassing. I can't.
I'm speaking truth. Your body will never ever satisfy.
Please.
The physical never ever satisfy. There's a longing in each of your hearts to actually be seen. The reason why you're showing your body because you're like,
Dude.
am I pretty enough?
Please fuck off.
We're definitely pretty enough. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, let me go up to all of these young girls and then tell them that they're insecure because they're chilling on the beach. What? What kind of logic? This is projected shit.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Yes, please leave us alone.
Just next time you come to the beach and there's young eyes, take that into consideration.
Bro, what are you talking about? You're shirtless. You're not saying shit to them. Yeah, what are you fucking talking
You're gonna go bother that man now?
Yeah, go.
Move along.
That's a lot different.
How is that because he has a fucking dick? Is that why?
Go down the drain.
Yes, the infamous line. That's different. Showing a body is showing a body. Like, the only reason... fuck. The only reason that it's more controversial for a woman to do it is because women have been sexualized far, far more than men have over the whole years. So that's why it's more, quote-unquote, out there for a woman to wear less clothing. Even normal things that they do have been sexualized, and that's a whole nother discussion. Sorry, that just popped into my head. It's always very intriguing. If somebody ever comes up to you like that, you better make sure you start recording because you can get a viral TikTok, okay? And then people in podcasts will review it, okay? Yeah, that shit was weird. So stay safe out there, please, because these people are out there. They're gonna get mad at the emojis and they're gonna get mad at you for wearing a bathing suit. So be careful. In case you needed a sign to do whatever the hell it is that you gotta do, this is right here, my friend. All right? Go do that shit. Okay? I don't know what it is. I don't know what you gotta do, but you gotta do it. If it's been on your mind. I'm gonna turn into like a psychic podcast. Okay? Is that cool with you? I know what you've been thinking about, and you gotta go do it. See? I read your mind. This is how it works. I'm channeling you through the phone. Or the laptop. Or the PC or the TV. And for those of you who are weird enough to watch this on a Nintendo Switch, is that even possible? I don't know. It would actually be really funny if you went and did the thing that you think you're supposed to do because I said to do it, and then you did it, and then it ruined your life. And then you could be like, Sam Collins' podcast ruined my fucking life. I was thinking about breaking up with my girlfriend, and he said, just do it. And now my life is in shatters. That doesn't even make any sense. In shatters? And now my life is in pieces. Pieces shatter. That's probably where I got that from. Okay, I'm not that bad. I'm not that stupid. So, also with that being said, I also wanted to remind you, because I don't think I've done this for a while. Also, please do what you want to do with your life. Like, whatever you want to go for, you should go for. Because you have one life. Unless you believe otherwise. Right now, you have one life. And every time I think about my story it makes me, because I was just uploading videos as a kid, right? And I wanted to do YouTube ever since I was like 11 or 12 years old, 13 years old. I wanted to be a YouTuber. I was obsessed with it. I loved it. So I started making my videos, and like, it's not like a traditional job that you have. You can't go to college for it and then end up becoming a YouTuber. Like, that's obviously not how it works. Same with being a streamer or just any type of social media influencer. You got to put in the work to get there, and sometimes you don't always get there. But when I think about it, I worked insanely hard to get to where I am, and a lot of people around me told me that it was stupid, or that I won't make money from it, or that I've just had people be negative about it. And it's what I wanted to do, so I didn't give a shit. They can talk all the shit they want. Go ahead, like, keep talking your shit. Yes, I don't make any money from this at all. I don't care if I do for the next 2 years. I love doing this thing, so I'm going to put my time and effort into it. And if it ends up failing, I can die happy knowing that I tried to do this thing that I wanted to do. So I continue with it, no matter how much hate I got, no matter how many views that dropped, no matter how much my videos didn't get recognized. I put so many hours into this one project, and it did terrible, and it got no views. I'm talking about years and years ago. The nights that I sat in my bed and I was so frustrated and I was so upset that, like, this wasn't working out, and I was getting older and I wasn't able to make a living off of this YouTube career that I wanted to do. And I'm telling, there was endless nights. There were endless nights when I was like, I'm giving up. I'm done with this. I'm just going to go do this other job, and just, it'll be fine. I tried. I can't do it anymore. It's frustrating me. It's giving me stress, and it's making me not like it. And I felt that way for a long time, all the way up to like 2017 or 2018. And then eventually, like, my channel took off, and I got to do really cool things and go to cool events, and I had a lot of subscribers, and I got a YouTuber subscriber plaque for 100,000 subscribers, and I started making a livable income from it, and it just kept growing. Everything kept growing and growing and growing, and now I'm at this point where it's extremely sustainable. It's so fun. I love everything about it. And I'm so happy that I had this passion, and I kept this passion the whole time. Even though it was hard, it was tough. There was so many, I don't even know. There was definitely over probably 20 times where I wanted to give up, or where I was so upset, like, that things weren't working in my favor. And it was working in everybody else's favor except for mine. It was literally like a snail race. Except I was the snail and everyone else was the grasshopper thing. All right? Because I had friends in social media who were doing so well. This guy's doing so well. This girl's doing so well. He's doing good. She's doing good. And it was just like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? You know? And why do I sound like I'm crying? I'm out of breath. Hold on. I just didn't know why everyone else's life was going so much better than mine. Right? And that's a sucky feeling. And you feel like you're lost and you don't know what you're doing and you're wasting your time on something, whatever. I really don't think you are, if you feel like that right now. What I'm saying is really just don't give up on your dreams. And it's such a cheesy thing to talk about and say, but I feel like a lot of people are just suppressed and are told they can't do something, and then they never go for it. And like, living life with regrets, I feel, is really sad. So even if you think you can be a singer and you want to try to be a singer, and you go and you do stuff to try to be a singer, and then 3 years down the line it doesn't work out, like, at least that's not time wasted. In my opinion, that's not time wasted. That was hard work. That was dedication. That was passion. That was, you enjoyed it. It was fun. It's not time wasted. It's an experience, and that you will carry that with you because it's a lesson. So you won't know what life would be like if you didn't take that opportunity. And this doesn't only have to be for related to career. Like, if you want to move to Italy for a year and you can afford to move to Italy for a year, but there's people saying, oh, you shouldn't go move to Italy for a year because it's going to cost this much, and why do you want to live so far away? But you want to do it, I think you should do it. Again, if you can afford to move. I'm not saying go move somewhere and start a new life and stuff like that. I'm just saying, if there's something you want, you should do it. because you will be happy. I think you would be happy that you experienced it, even if it sucked. If I quit when I wanted to back then, I would have been so upset, but I think like a year later, I'd be like, that was fun and I'm happy that I tried, and maybe one day I'll revisit it or some shit like that. Yeah, I'm just heavy on telling people to do what they want. I think that's how life should be. It's your life. Do what makes you happy. Okay? Okay. I hope that helped, even a little bit. So let's read some LGBTQ stories now. So the first story says, one day when I was cleaning my room, my mother announced that we would be going on a clothes shopping trip downtown, and me, just wanting to get out of the house, quickly got dressed, put on my mask, and got in the car. After we left the house, I pulled out my phone and started scrolling on Twitter, where the first tweet I was greeted with was from Lil Nas X. Before I could read it, my mother told me that I'm no longer able to listen to Lil Nas X. After I asked her why I couldn't listen to him, she simply stated that he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and very demonic. I knew that she was referring to the Montero music video, so I told her how the music video and the shoes were a big effort to troll the homophobes, which she was successful at, but she was having none of it. My mother quickly retaliated with a comment that still baffles me today, which was that Nas was, quote-unquote, taking away women's unique abilities to have children, end quote. For some of you who don't know what she was referring to, Nas basically made it look like he was pregnant until his album came out. He didn't attack pregnant women, he just had a pregnant belly. I asked her how Nas was taking away a biological ability that anyone with a uterus can do, which was met with a quick comeback of, quote, there are men out there thinking that they can get pregnant. God gave women that ability, not men. People shouldn't take away our unique ability, end quote. Before I could respond, she quickly followed up with, quote, now men want to compete in women's sports. Like, that's not okay. For a second, I was trying to think of a time a man competed in women's sports, but then I realized that she was talking about trans women. Finally, to wrap her transphobia in a pretty box and ribbon, she says, people may not agree with us, but we must keep this truth evident to ourselves. One day when you have children, you'll think the same way. Keep in mind, she said this after claiming that trans people are sick in the head. I would raise my child no differently if they came out as trans. My love has no conditions. After she ended her transphobic rant, she then talks about how Nas is single-handedly hurting black men. The same black men that have huge representation from icons like Kevin Hart, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, and many, many more. Having a black LGBT person doesn't hurt the black community, but helps those black LGBT individuals who feel alienated from their own community, such as myself. After what happened, I honestly felt less safe coming out as bisexual. Even though I'm not trans, she still made it clear that she is not fond of the LGBT community. And due to her being religious and labeling things such as feminine and masculine all the time, I don't think she would be fond to know that her child likes guys. I'm 4 years out from college, so I'll be out of the situation soon, but when I am, I'm riding to college blasting Born This Way by Lady Gaga. It honestly hurts to see transphobia within the black community, but it definitely isn't new. Especially with my mother who fully supports BLM, but wants women and men to be traditional. Everything from men having beards, gay men having the personality of a stereotypical straight man, and men being the breadwinner while women are at home. Any deviation is seen by her as emasculating. Even though me, a man, has told her it really isn't. Anyways, this is getting long enough. The moral of the story, if you want kids, it might not be a bad idea to be LGBT accepting first. Damn. It's always good to know how somebody feels before you come out so you're prepared for the type of reaction that you get. I think that's definitely a lot harder with your parents though, and especially this situation, because she really elaborated on like the Lil Nas thing and how you can't listen to him anymore. And it's just, and she also obviously doesn't get the fact. A lot of people don't get the fact that Lil Nas is like fucking with people, and that's what makes him so funny and so unique and so just so fucking funny. Like, the stuff that I see from him makes me laugh out loud. And it's also great because he's showing representation in multiple communities, as you said. I mean, it does depend on the person, because sometimes having a child that is LGBTQ makes parents change their mind. It's like, it's a gamble, because you don't know. Is their mind going to change when I come out because I'm their child? Or are they going to basically disown me because I'm their child and I'm bisexual or gay or lesbian? So moral of the story, yeah, just don't have kids, please, if you can't handle the fact that they might possibly be gay. Please. So for this next story, it says, so this one time me and my dad went out to run some errands. We decided to grab some chocolate covered strawberries, and he referred to me as she. By the way, I go by they/them, and I called him out on it. He said that he wasn't going to use my preferred pronouns in public because he didn't want to explain my entire identity to the world. To which I respond by saying that they don't have to understand it, and he doesn't have to explain it. He just has to respect it. He said that people would be confused, blah, 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 and I said that this isn't an excuse. Then he said to me, well, should we just leave without the strawberries? Just because I'm not going to use your pronouns? I just kept my head down till we got to the car. He looked at me and he told me to stop sulking. And I said, I'm not sulking. And he said, yes, you are. And then he kept saying that he didn't want to take an hour out of his day to explain my identity to every single stranger. And so I said, do you care more about them than about me? Because by not respecting me for the sake of them doesn't seem like love. To which he replied, it's not about love. And then he called me a drama queen because I started crying. So this is really interesting because calling you they or them in public, especially in a grocery store, isn't going to warrant strangers to come up in your business. Maybe maybe rarely, like someone who's really nosy. But I never talk to anyone in grocery stores ever. Even if I'm interacting with even if I go to the grocery store with someone and we're talking, like no one ever comes up to us and questions us about anything ever. So like that's just a weird excuse. Why would a stranger come up to you and then be like, does this person go by they/them? How does that even work? Like why would honestly, it's just an excuse to not use your proper pronouns, in my opinion. Because you don't have to take the time out of your day to explain that to anybody, because nobody's gonna fucking ask. So it's just, I don't know, that's pretty weird. It does say a lot about him though. Like if people do that when you're around and they don't want to refer to you a certain way because there's other people around and they might get confused, I don't think that's the real reason why. So be careful of that. So for the last story, this says, I'm a non-binary woman. My pronouns are she/they, and I'm a lesbian. I have some major social anxiety, so I sometimes have trouble talking to people, even if I know the person. So when I figured out I was gay, I wanted to tell somebody really bad. I decided to tell my best friend first. I literally almost had a panic attack, but she was supportive and later came out to me as well. Once I came out to my parents, I felt confident with telling more people, since I'd been supported so far. I came out to a good friend who happened to be a conservative Christian. Let's call her Sally. She seemed a little flustered when I came out, but other than that, she seemed supportive. As time went on, I realized little details, like for example, her trying to ask me if I thought a certain guy was cute, or things that would just kind of show me that she really didn't care about my sexuality. So one of my other friends, Sally, and I were answering questions from an app one day. Of course, one of the questions had to turn controversial. That question was, quote, what would you hate for the government to make illegal? My other friend and I responded gay marriage, since she was also part of the LGBTQ community. Sally then rolled her eyes and said that she didn't want to get into a fight with us, even though we weren't showing aggression or wanting to dispute anything with our answer. I know that she didn't have to have the same answer, but she could have at least been okay with our answer. I understand that this wasn't a huge deal, but I have bad trust issues with her in the past. I later talked to Sally that night on Snapchat, and she said that my big mental disorder isn't as big of a deal since she was already having her own minor health problems, and said that she might die soon because of that. What the fuck? I knew it obviously wasn't true, but it put me at a loss of words. About a week of not responding to her texts, I told her that she was being toxic. She claimed she wasn't and kept making my point even clearer. She later brought other friends into this situation and created more drama than there needed to be. She ended up blocking me in the end anyways. All the bad things she also said about me in the past all built up inside of me, and I never stood up for myself. I couldn't handle it anymore. That is my story and how I got into an episode of depression for 4 months straight. Thanks for listening. I really love your podcast. Yeah, so this person doesn't sound like just right off the bat, obviously, I feel like we can all tell that this person isn't a big fan of the LGBTQ community because of the things that she has said, like being passive aggressive with that one question, like your answer to the question, and then saying that you have a big mental disorder, like, and then also asking you if you think guys are cute, or like asking you questions about guys when you clearly don't like guys. That's just a way of people like trying to push you into it, or just fuck with you or something like that. But yeah, this person just sounds like they've stepped boundaries, and they obviously don't have any care for, you having equal rights, so they're not worth it at all, and those people are never worth it. But it is hard to, if they're your friends, of course it's hard to throw that person away, or your family. But some people just suck, dude. So the moral of this story, and what I want you to leave here today with, is that people suck. thank you so much for submitting your stories. I really appreciate it. If any of you want to submit any of your LGBTQ stories, like I said, you can send them to outspokensam@gmail.com, and maybe I'll read one of yours at the end of one of my episodes. So I hope you all have a great day, and I actually do mean that.